One of the other key benefits of our relationship with UNDP has been that the support that we have received in professionalizing public procurement in Liberia. We decided to do that professionalization because public procurement reform is relatively new. The reform agenda was actually engendered in 2005 with the creation of the first law on procurement. In 2010, this law was revised and restated. And because of that, relatively, it is new. Because of that, there's low capacity across the government. That's why we're really very heavy on capacity building. But then, in addition to that, what we want to do is to set up structures to ensure that the very many problems that are associated with procurement, which tend to undermine the interests of the state, are curtailed. In that, whilst we are working to establish an e-procurement platform to remove all the individual discretions, we also want to be able to establish a regime where the procurement practitioners themselves will be held accountable for unprofessional behavior. And to do that, we want to institute this professionalization. It has 4 prongs. One of the prongs is that there will be vertical education in procurement, and we are working with the universities to see if they can establish both undergraduate and graduate level training in procurement. The second part is certification. We want so that people who get vertical education in procurement can be certified and then be licensed. Then hopefully we have the carrot and the stick in place now. If you do well, we certify you and you can work as a procurement practitioner. But if you don't do well and you engage in acts that are unprofessional and that undermines the interests of the state, we revoke your license and then you cannot work as a procurement practitioner. To be able to achieve that, we had to set in place a mechanism whereby procurement practitioners will be certified. And thanks again to collaboration with UNDP, we've been able to adopt the partnership between UNDP and the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supplies based in the UK, SIPS, so that we can use the UNDP SIPS training here in Liberia in the meantime. That partnership has resulted in close to 300 procurement staff, both in the public and private sector, benefiting from this certification program. I'm very happy to report that a good number of people have completed the first level, which is level 2, and are now gearing up for level 3 in this month, at the end of this month and early March. We are also planning to continue this training until this year. We are knocking on wood and crossing our fingers in the hope that we'll be able to graduate the first set of SIPS certified individuals in Liberia. We will then work with the Civil Service Agency once we've had a good turnover of these SIPS trained individuals, these SIPS certified individuals. The CSA can then establish a career track for these individuals as a way of ensuring that before you occupy certain positions in government, you must have met all these requirements. So again, we are working with UNDP on that. On that one, we have a very good gender participation rate. We have about 27% gender participation in the SIPS training. We are very keen on that, and we encourage agencies to kindly give priority to the female procurement staff to attend the training, and many of them have been doing that. We've also collaborated with partner institutions and so as to ensure that coherently we can all work together to ensure that all these anti-graft initiatives complement each other. The law does give us authority to do post-audit and review of procurement processes. But owing to our limited resources and the limited number of personnel that we haven't been able to do that over time. So what we've decided to do, we sought to enlist the collaboration and cooperation of the Internal Audit Agency, which has the manpower space and has technicians assigned to each government agency as internal review personnel to review PFM requirements before vouchers are processed for payment. So what we've done is to leverage that capacity in government through a partnership with IAA, whereby we've had series of workshops, again with the support of UNDP, for these technicians to bring them up to speed on compliance requirements for the procurement regime. And this has proven very, very effective, because then now, even though PPCC is not physically present, but through the IAA, we're able to enforce our regulations even while the transactions are taking place. For that activity, UNDP again provided support so that we could provide the capacity both to the Ministry of Justice, who have lawyers that receive procurement contracts, as well as the Ministry of Finance and the IAA, to train these personnel so that they understand what the requirements are in the procurement regime. So that is one major gain that has been made, because through that, it is now literally impossible for any government agency to make payment on a procurement contract that was not awarded properly. The impact of that is just astronomical, because unlike before, people will bypass the procurement processes and procedures and then still get payments from the Ministry of Finance. With this new dispensation in place and this new collaboration between ourselves and IAA and the Ministry of Justice, it has become practically impossible to get payment on procurement contracts so long as those contracts were not awarded through a competitive or otherwise approved process under the procurement regime. So this is again another big benefit of this collaboration with the UNDP.